This is Rosen Institute's Your Law Firm, where Lee Rosen and Ned Days cover management, marketing, finance, and new technologies for building the practice you deserve. Rosen Institute members received this episode early, as well as exclusive segments on checking in on your own mental health, an answer to a member question about how to handle clients using inappropriate or hateful language, as well as sessions from our systems program all about building processes in your firm. Get access to everything you're missing at roseninstitute.com/join. Here's Lee Rosen.
It's good to be with you today from Oslo, Norway. We're here for just a few days, and we've been to see the painting The Scream by Edvard Munch. Well, it turns out that there is more than one version of The Scream. The Munch Museum has 3 of them, and they keep one on display all the time. Plus, the National Museum has one on display as well. Apparently, Munch liked to paint the same things repeatedly to explore the possibilities. So these different versions of The Scream are all the same idea, but they each vary just a little bit. So we've been looking at art, touring the harbor by boat, and eating all of the amazing seafood that they have here. Oslo is a beautiful city, and we're really glad that we're here.
It's time for your tech tip. I have a rather disturbing bit of news to report. I am not as young, hip, and on trend as I thought I was. I've recently been made aware that Gen Z, hereafter known as kids these days, have declared no-show socks to be for millennials, or old people as they call us, and crew socks to be the official foot mitten of choice for the youth. This is clearly impossible, since I wear no-show socks, and my parents' generation are the ones who love crew socks. Nothing is ever allowed to change, and I am to forever be the arbiter of what is fashionable. But the discussion today is not about sock length. It's about a format or technology that has faded from the spotlight and, while maligned for the moment like my preferred sock, is still relevant and downright critical for a lot of us. I'm talking about RSS feeds. RSS is a technology that has been around for decades now. Its popularity has ebbed and flowed like crew socks, or hopefully no-show socks, and for the die-hard feed readers among us, I have a few useful tools to keep you in the loop. If you are using a feed reader already to keep on top of news updates from industry publications or your favorite sites, you may not be aware that a lot of big platforms where we read or watch content still offer RSS feeds too. They're usually just hidden or very difficult to find without diving through the page source code. RSSFeedASAP.com is a tool to easily get the RSS feed from sites where this is the case. You can subscribe to an RSS feed from a YouTube channel, a Google News feed, a Reddit community, or a SoundCloud profile. All you do is copy and paste in the URL from the original site, and RSS Feed ASAP will figure out the RSS feed and then provide it to you. It even works for podcast platforms like Spotify and iTunes to give you the original link, or blog pages where the RSS feed link isn't made obvious on the page itself. The next tool is Kill the Newsletter, available at kill-the-newsletter.com. This one allows you to subscribe to email newsletters via RSS. You provide it with a feed title, and it gives you an RSS feed to subscribe to and an email address to use to sign up for newsletters. Those emails are then turned into entries in the RSS feed when they arrive. So you can set up multiple feeds to keep your newsletter subscriptions organized by topic. And the last tool is a new feed aggregator. You might be using a service like Feedly to read your RSS feeds right now, but TidyRead, available at tidyread.ai, aims to replace that. It is a Chrome extension that lets you subscribe to RSS feeds, but it's a departure from what you are probably used to. It works as you would expect. To start, you add feeds manually, subscribe to a Google News keyword or a Podwise podcast. You can import an OPML file from another feed reader app, or just search their directory for popular news feeds. You can then group feeds into what it calls recipes. TidyRead then generates a digest from all of the feeds in your recipe and creates summaries of feed entries with AI. You can customize the prompt it uses to generate these summaries to get exactly the kind of details you want. There are some defaults that are useful for getting started, but you can go crazy with the prompts. You can set up variables, special formatting, formatting, and a lot more to get exactly what it is you are after out of each kind of feed. You can apply special filters in case there are certain types of items you want to be processed differently or hidden entirely. You can view your digest in the browser, but unlike traditional readers where you have to read the entire entry, you are presented with the summaries generated by the custom prompt you provide. You can, of course, visit the original page, but the real benefit of TidyRead is the ability to truncate huge pieces of content into skimmable summaries. It will translate the language in case you want to subscribe to resources that aren't in your native tongue. If you prefer the new/old CrewSock approach of getting it all delivered via email, it will let you send a daily email summary of your recipes too. And if you really want to geek out, there are lots of options for power users. You can provide your own API keys if you are already paying for ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, or another LLM tool, and send all the content through your paid account for summarization. You have the option to create webhooks for sending RSS entries and summaries to other software. There are some defaults included for Slack, Discord, and a few others, but you can get as complex as you want. So if, for example, you want certain publications, sites, or other updates summarized a certain way and then delivered to you as a Slack message each morning instead of in your feed reader or email client, you can do that. Or if you automatically want to send summaries of anything showing up in a Google News feed referencing a certain company or client into your CRM or practice management system for later use, you can set that up too. Pricing is handled in a kind of on-demand credit system for processing and higher tiers for extra features like customized recipe prompts and filters, but the free plan has nearly all of the features and a generous token limit for summaries. So it's easy to try out and see if it's for you, and then starts at somewhere around $10 to get an extra 15 million tokens, which will last you quite a while. I'm Ned Days, and that's your tech tip.
And now for your moment of concise advice. The question is not the question. It almost never is. People ask about one thing when what they really need help with is something else. They'll bring up a surface problem, but underneath it is fear, embarrassment, or just plain confusion. Sometimes they don't even know what their real problem is, so they grab onto whatever feels manageable and they put that in front of you. And here's the trap. We take the question at face value and we give advice about the wrong thing, not because we don't know what we're talking about, but because we don't stop to question whether the problem in front of us is the real problem. We jump into solution mode only to realize later that the advice that we gave, it didn't help because it was aimed at the wrong target. I see it all the time. A lawyer recently asked me about her technology subscription, something about billing and cutting costs and making sure that she was on the right plan. A reasonable question. But as I listened, something felt off. I've seen this before. Years ago, I had an associate who, whenever her revenue was down, she would get fixated on organizing things in the office. One year, she became obsessed with rearranging the books in our law library. Another time, it was tweaking the internal systems and processes. She convinced herself that these things mattered, but what she really needed to do, marketing, following up with potential clients, making the calls that would actually fix her revenue problem, that's exactly what she was avoiding. I realized the same thing was happening with the lawyer asking me about the technology. The issue wasn't her software subscriptions. The issue was cash flow. Revenue was down, and instead of facing that, she was tinkering with a problem that felt safer to deal with. And the scary part about this is it's not just them. We all do this. We all focus on the wrong things. We look for solutions to the wrong problems. We misdiagnose our own problems in the exact same way that they're doing it. We get stuck on the wrong things because the right things, they are uncomfortable. We tell ourselves we need to fix something before we can move forward when really we're just stalling. We obsess over reworking a process or fixing a minor inefficiency or restructuring our to-do lists, all while avoiding the one thing that would actually move us forward, that would actually solve our problem. So the next time someone asks you for advice, don't take their question at face value. Slow down, listen carefully, think about what they're really asking, what's really going on. And the next time you catch yourself obsessing over a problem, ask yourself, is this really what I should be focusing on, or am I just avoiding what actually needs to be done? That's your moment of concise advice. Wrapping up from Oslo, thanks for spending a few minutes with me and Ned today. We hope you have a great weekend and an even better week next week. Keep plugging away, moving forward, and getting things done. You're on the right track. You'll get there. I promise. We're all in this together, and together we build better practices through better marketing, better management, and better technology. Until next time, I'm Lee Rosen.
Thanks for listening to Your Law Firm. Subscribe to the Friday File at roseninstitute.com and join thousands of lawyers focused on working on, instead of in their practices. You'll find safe, successful, actionable approaches for transforming your firm. Sign up for free at roseninstitute.com.